Yo, it's Gravy Baby, and you're watching Take Flight.
Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy Wings and 24 Karat Kev.
Hello.
And you're tapped in with the Take Flight podcast. We're here with an OG of the Western Sydney scene, the Australian scene at that. My dog, Gravy Baby, in the building. What's happening, bro? What's happening, man? Thank you for coming through, man. How you been, bro?
Nah, not bad.
You been alright? It's good to see you around these parts today, man.
That's all.
Hey, we're going to get straight into it.
Yeah.
There's not many interviews I've been able to find of you online.
Nah,
bro.
I haven't done many.
There hasn't, eh?
No.
So look, take us back, right back, bro. We got to go way back. How did you get into the rap shit when, look, back in the day, there's not as many influences as you would have now, in the Australian scene especially?
Yeah, 100%. Like, well, it started off in high school, listening to Sydney Searchers and all that. And then a few of my mates, they were already doing their thing, K1, the African-Australian hip-hop group.
Shout out B-Wise.
B-Wise was in there. Yeah, my mate Glove was in there. I went to school with him. So he started doing music, and after school I started doing music through him. And then I linked up with Jay Neary, and then he introduced me to Malik from One Lane, now One Lane, but Hustlehard back in the day. And I guess that's how it started for me. Yeah.
So was it like, when you started, was it recording songs in someone's garage, or was it freestyling?
Yeah, bro. It was like, it was in like unit apartments. It was in like cupboards, like, you know what I mean? Built-in cupboards and all that type of shit, garages. Just, you know what I mean? Whatever we could use to record back in the day. Because obviously, you know what I mean? We broke or like coming up all young.
Amen.
So, yeah, just doing that. And then obviously as we progressed, people got better setups and we got introduced to like better environments to record and make music.
Studios came about.
Studios and all that, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be resourceful back in those days, because obviously, like you said, there wasn't as much, you know, things online or YouTube tutorials on how to teach you how to do stuff. So on that note, how was it back then when you actually told people that, you know, you're an upcoming rapper? Because nowadays it feels like, you know, a lot of people are rappers and it's like, obviously it's the biggest genre in the world, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
How was it back then?
Back then it was just, for us, it was just fun. Like, it was just making music because like we loved it. We weren't really trying to like push it. There was, as you said, there was like nothing out there. Like when I first started making music, we were sending it through infrared on like mobile phones. Like
Not even Bluetooth.
Infrared and Bluetooth and that. And then, like, obviously, like when Hustlehard, like because majority of all of us, we started on Hustlehard. That's where we got our start. So once that happened, there was like a big push. Like Cursor and all that was doing their thing. Like there wasn't as big as a market as there is now, but it was growing. You could say, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's when, you know what I mean, we started taking it more serious.
For sure, man.
We're going to talk about Hustlehard a bit later. That's a big part of the story. But especially coming around back then, nowadays we had brothers on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're one of the highest streaming Australian, if not the highest streaming Australian rappers out now.
Yeah.
You're also, you know, mates with Chillin' It, seeing you at shows and stuff. So, you know, two Lebanese rappers are probably like the two biggest hip hop artists now. But how was it back then? You know, was there many Lebanese like?
Nah, there wasn't. It was pretty much. It was Mac Gunstar. He was one, and myself, Yogi Breezy was another one that I knew of. But nah, there wasn't much, to be honest. There was just us. Even like when the brothers first started, like I used to talk to Sebs. And he was saying the same thing. He's like, bro, yous were like, you know what I mean? Yous were like the Lebo ones, this and that. And I'm like, but we never claimed it. We were just, because we're from Australia. So we, you know what I mean? It's not like now everyone's influencing, like adding their culture into the music. But back then we were just rapping where we're from.
Hey,
you know what I mean? And what we've done.
That West Sid shit back then.
Yeah. That's, I think that's why for me personally, I think that's why there wasn't really much of a market. Because we're talking about street, gutter shit, like, a select audience listens to, you know what I mean? It's not very wide.
It's very niche back then, especially. Yeah, look, you had like West Sydney on lock.
Yeah.
But look, even looking back, I had a look through your fortnightly report earlier today, man. Hey, and people wanted you going around the country even way back then. So look, the market was there, just nowhere near as big, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. And bro, like, I've been lazy and, you know what I mean? Like, music politics gets involved and I do my own head in, so I sort of restricted myself, you know what I mean? I'll be motivated, then I'll be demotivated, and you know what I mean? As people will know, you know what I mean? They see my rants on Instagram and all that shit. So
yeah, we'll get into some of that. Sure. You mentioned to me not long ago, and I'm sure I've heard you talk about it online, that, you know, you come from a time where you had to have skill, bro.
Yeah.
Whether freestyling, whether it was live, whether it was, you know, live shows. What was it that helped you hone your skills back then? Because there wasn't a lot to look up to, other than, I guess, overseas artists.
Yeah, that's
how did you practice and get ready for stuff like that back
Bro,
in the day?
it was the drink ups at the parks on the weekend, you know what I mean? Like when all the boys would meet up and, you know what I mean, obviously we'd be smoking and drinking and that. You talk shit. You get like, you know what I mean, someone puts a beat on or there'll be music playing in the background and then like you start rapping, you start teasing your mate or whatever, you try and make up some raps as you go. Like, that's how it started for me. But then like the sort of group of boys I was around, one of them made beats, one of them was already sort of like in the music, like doing his own music. So it was that sort of environment, you know what I mean? So like they'd put a beat on, we'd freestyle, my mate would freestyle, and it was sort of like not battling each other, but you're competitive amongst one each other, you know what I mean? So that's how I started doing the freestyle shit. That's why like when people see me freestyle, they spin out because they're like, how does he do it so good on the spot? You know what I mean? And it's because, bro, I practice. Like all these rappers, they just rap, you know what I mean? And they don't take the shit serious. In my opinion, they don't take that shit serious, you know what I mean? You can't be a basketball player and only like shoot two, you can't shoot out of the court, like, you know what I mean? You can dribble, you can't dunk, you can't, you know what I mean? You gotta take your shit serious, whatever you do. In my opinion, anyway.
Everything's switched up, man.
Yeah, of course.
Even the freestyles these days, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, freestyle meant off the top of the dome.
Of course.
These days, let's be serious, everything
It's
online
written.
that is a freestyle is definitely a pre-written
It's written,
line,
yeah.
right?
That's right. 100%.
Well, look, everything's changed over the years. Rap's changed, the whole rap game, and there's always debates over many things.
Yeah.
But the latest one, well, it's not the latest one, it's been going forever. But the latest one,
it's been reignited lately, I've seen.
100%, it has sparked up again. Live raps, people rapping over their backing tracks. You know what I mean? You came from a time where that was not a thing. And
No.
if you walked up on top of a stage, if you walked upon a stage,
Yeah.
rapped over your backing track, you probably laughed off the stage, right?
That's right. Like,
What are your thoughts around this one, man?
Bro, we come from that time where like you put an instrumental on, you rap your beat, you rap your tracks, you know what I mean? Like that's just how I come from. Like if the only time you'd ever do that is if there's a featured artist on it and they're not there. You know what I mean? You play their verse or you'd rap their verse, you know what I mean? But it's not like it's a frowned upon thing. Like to me, it's sort of like it's half-ass shit, you know what I mean? But I guess if they do it, they do it. But I come from a time where you put an instrumental on, you do it. Like when I first performed with Nter and I put Tripped Out on, he was like, bro, you can't rap how you rapping in the track. I said, yeah, I can, bro. That's how I rap it. And then when I done it, he's like, bro, for a big boy, like you can spit, but like, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, like you got to practice. You got to practice. You can't just, you know what I mean? You can't just I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Look, to be completely honest for myself, I grew up in a time where, you know, when I started going to rap show, that it was okay to rap over your back. Because, again, I grew up with a lot of American music too.
Yeah.
And a lot of them from over there in this day and age do that, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we obviously gained a lot of our influence from. But when I go out to shows and see, I got to shout out to people like Chillina and Talakai, to be honest, and seeing the skill that they come to the stage with. And even the fitness you got to have. But in saying that, you obviously had that fitness too. Doesn't matter how big a boy you are. You can get it
that's
in,
right,
man.
bro. That's right. It's just practice, bro. You gotta practice your breathing. That's why I always when I go on my rants, I'm like, these guys are rappers and we're MCs. You know what I mean? It's like a street fighter to a martial artist. You know what I mean? Like that's the comparison. You know, like you can fight, but you don't have the proper skills. You know what I mean? Like you haven't trained to do like what you're capable of doing, and that's
And I think a lot of that might come from the fact that, you know, you mentioned when you was coming up, it was like you'd go to the park and, you know, people would test you and if you were shit, people would probably laugh at you. Like, you know what I mean? But I feel like nowadays so many people just hone their careers in their bedrooms and then they get on the stage and they actually don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So they got to have a backing track or the hype man. The other one that irks me is when the hype man's rapping more than the rapper. It's like, he should be getting paid your fee. He should be getting paid the hype man fee. You know what I mean? Like,
because they're like the mad biggest fans and they're like, I know your songs. I'm here on stage.
Hey, man, right?
And I think a lot of these debates kicked off when obviously drill music had the big explosion in 2018, 2019. I feel like that obviously took the Oz game to the next level and that's when a lot of these debates started. So obviously when the drill thing happened in Australia, a lot of it was UK influence, but I think that, you know, as far as like the attitude, the slang and all that, a lot of the drill artists I feel owe a lot to artists like you and rappers that are coming up from the Hustlehard generation. So when you listen to those drill artists now, can you identify that influence? Do you think that you have had that?
Yeah, like I can because most of them, when they were coming up, they gave us our props. Like, they were like, bro, we listen to you, we this and this and that. I'm not going to say who's who, but most of them did, you know what I mean? They're like, bro, we listen to this, we listen to that. We come up off you, like, when we were teenagers and that. And it's like, they did their own thing, that they created their own lane and they done their own thing. So, like, God bless to them, you know what I mean? But I just, I see the influence, yeah. And, but obviously it's gone its own way. Like, we were classed as like gutter rappers, lad rappers, you know what I mean? They're like the drill rappers now. They're always gonna label them as something. But yeah, I do see the influence.
What did you think of the term lad rap, gutter rap at the time? Because I guess to some people it had a bad annotation.
Yeah.
But for the people in there, I guess it was kind of a good title to have.
It was sort of a good and bad. It was like a double-edged sword, because it was good to be like labelled. I was never a lad, like, you know what I mean? I was a big boy. Like, I wore fucking sports shit that fit me, you know what I mean? I didn't wear none of these polo and all that, all the boys wore. But because I made music like them and I spoke how we spoke from like the houses and that, that they labelled me that, you know what I mean? It was bad in the sense that no one would work or push us because of that, you know what I mean? And like, certain rappers did certain things, certain places that got us a bad rap as a whole, you know what I mean? So that sort of stuffed it up for us too. But now, like, the way the scene's going now is crazy. You know what I mean?
I remember back then there was even like a big division kind of between what was accepted, like Australian hip hop at the time, and that sort of scene. Because I remember back at Come Together Festival, Cursor was on the bill with a bunch of other rappers that were kind of like of the more Triple J realm, and then he got booted off the bill or something because they said that the fan bases were too kind of like different or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's just funny because nowadays it's like all the people that used to trash like people that wore TNs and that, and now like the ones wearing TNs.
100%, 110%, bro. Like, you couldn't have said, like, I couldn't have said it better, bro. That's the truth. But when you speak on that, like, especially, I'll talk about myself personally. When I talk about it personally in that sort of sense, they call me a hater, or they call me like this and that, or you never made it and that. And it's not that. It's, I seen the work and all the slack and all the shit people were giving us back when we were doing our thing. And then now you see these people just breeze in, and it's like Eshays. It's like Eshays slaughtered Sydney Searchers when they were doing that. Like, you know what I mean? You had Schemo's picture and like lad this and that, box cutter in his hand, all the rest, shredding them. And now you listen to, I'm not going to say what, you listen to the radio and you hear Eshays, you know what I mean? Like, and all this, and it's like, eat swat, and it's like, you didn't mess with us back in the day. And now it's like, oh, no, it's acceptable. We can push this now. Let's go. Let's run with it. And it's like, but what about all these other people? Because when they consider, like, I'm going to go on a rant now, bro. When they consider me and they talk about me, they're like, holy water, Nter, holy water, this and that. And it's like, fair enough. Yeah, I made an anthem for the city. But I've done and made heaps more than that, you know what I mean? And it's like, they've forgotten about everyone before the drill scene took a rise. They forgot about majority of the people besides Cursor and the ones that were like, you know what I mean, labelled. But all of us street ones, like myself, Nter, and like, you know, Fort and all that, bro, we pave ways, you know what I mean? And a lot of us don't really get the recognition we deserve. Not that like I'm going to sit here like sourpuss this, that, but it's the truth, you know what I mean? Like, it's the truth.
I feel that's true too, but it's good that the artists that you said, the drill artists, even hit you up and said that, you know, you guys did pave the way, because I do feel a lot of people said, oh, Australian drill came, they just got all their shit from UK drill. But nah, that street shit existed way before. And I've heard HP boys out there shout out Alex Jones.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? I've heard some of the 1-4 boys shout out, you know, Cursor and that. Yeah. So it's good that you get those props from the artists 100%, at least.
100%, bro. Like they're killing it too. Like HP boys used to hit me up. Like M-Ways used to say, like, people used to say, like, bro, you look like gravy. You know what I mean? Like, but they're doing their own thing, guys. Like, it's crazy. They're doing that. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like,
I can imagine a WWE tag team. You
and the Smash Brothers, bro. Like, it's mad, but like, I'm a fan of like the scene. You know what I mean? Like how it's going, but I just don't like how people will give you your props when they're coming up, and then once they get a bit of momentum or a buzz, they're just like, well, we don't need that anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, we needed that back then. We don't need it anymore. We're on this level now, and it's like, I don't like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I see it as like, bro, if you're going to be genuine, you know what I mean? Because everyone I worked with, it's out of respect. It's never been like, bro, can I, you know what I mean? Can I do this? You got a platform, this and this and that. Like, as you said, I see you with Chillin' It at your shows and that. I've done those songs with Chillin' It because I don't have no, like, you know what I mean? He's pretty much like number one out there. And it's not like, bro, you can help me, you can put me on it. No, I don't need that. You know what I mean? There's a respect thing as MCs, and that's where we go. You know what I mean? Like, I respect his level of MC, and he respects me as an OG and, you know, in the game. And that's just what it is, how I see it, you know?
I think a lot of it has to do with money as well. Because obviously the scene now is a lot more profitable than before.
100%.
Back then it was like, you know, you upload songs on YouTube and that was it. And nowadays it's like, obviously you have streaming, and festivals are starting to buy into the underground rap sound. You got JD Sports, you know, coming in. JD Sports sponsor the show, by the way.
Look, right here. Shoes, clothes, everything right here.
We got a space here for JD Sports.
4XLs.
Gravy
Thank you very much.
Like,
big boy sponsorship.
When money becomes involved in any scene, I think that's when people start acting a bit funny or acting a bit different, you know?
But can I, like, just to expand on the money factor of things, back in the day, I don't know what it was like for you, but for a lot of artists that I've talked to, is getting a show was a privilege, and to be able to hop on a bill back in the day, right? They weren't as readily available as they are now.
No one
These days, to try and put on a show, honestly, shout out to some of the promoters out there, because me even trying to book these free fly nights I do, right?
Yeah.
It is a hard job, bro.
It is.
You get some local artists who I know for a fact will not even pull 30 people to a show trying to ask for $4,000. And I fully understand that artists are worth their money. I understand that artists put a lot of time and work in, but we're all out here still trying to build something that is so small. You know, it's just crazy to see the difference of people from your scene really working to get on shows, working to get the crowd in. And like you said, you've laid the legwork for everyone doing their thing these days. And then people now see the big chains. They see a couple of big artists out here rocking diamond watches and that, and think, wow, I deserve that too.
Yeah.
But you've got to gain that core fan base first.
Of course.
Ran over from myself.
Of course. No, that's right, bro. You're 100% right. You got it. But bro, you see some of the old shows we've done. You see me and Nter do Holy Water, and if you really look in the background on who's on that stage, it's everyone that's cranking right now. You know what I mean? 1-4's on the stage, Wombat's on the stage, Rops is on the stage, Chillnut's on the stage. You know what I mean? All the tee up, like, and I look at it and it's like, bro, these guys are rocking with us. You know what I mean? And now they're all cranking. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Were you at that show, Kev?
Yeah, I know the exact show you're talking about. It was the one at the Factory Theatre.
Yeah.
That was... You're not lying when you say we've got the footage. I remember, on my old website, we posted the footage of the Holy Water remix, and it was going off. It was like 800 people knew every word.
Bro, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I remember that show. That was like one of the. I think that might have been the first 1-4 show, and not that many. Yeah, it was just when they were bubbling up, and then I remember.
Kev knows, bro. Kev knows.
Yeah, I was
he's been in the background, bro. He knows.
Bro, I walked into the factory and there was like 50 dudes just ballied up, and I remember. Hey, shout out to Marley. I actually spoke to him about this before. Marley walks up to me, never met him before. Marley 1-4, and he's wearing like sunnies, an Under Armour top, Under Armour shorts, and an Under Armour visor upside down and sideways. And I was like, bro, this guy's about to punch me in the head or shake my hand. Like,
full football team, bro. Yeah, full rocked up with the footy team, bro. It's crazy. Yeah.
But well, all this conversation of past and new. Is there any new rappers right now? They don't have to be big. They could be small. That you would like to like throw a cosign on the show right now. We love to get a little bit of info about someone. Could be one, could be two.
My bro Voke, he's out of the southwest. He's coming up when he does his singing thing, but when he raps and he spits like them area raps, like he's unfuckwittable, bro.
Has he been doing much for long?
Bro, he's been doing shit for years, but he's not out there to like really like me, bro, to put shit out there for people, you know what I mean? But now he's in that lane where he's making music and he's putting it out there, you know what I mean? Like, and we got tracks, like we got bangers, you know what I mean? So like when we bring him out, he's on Tripped Out 3. I done Tripped Out 1 and 2, and then I done number 3. I didn't really do a video or anything. It's out there, but it's on the net, and he's on it. So if you really want to like suss, this is at least 8 years ago. But yeah, his new raps, crazy, bro.
All right, we'll
crazy.
go back and suss it.
Yeah, I'll give it Vogue, man.
Big cosign.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love those awkward pauses. They got to come at some point.
And we talked about some of the differences of rappers nowadays coming up compared to, I guess the earlier generation of the kind of late 2000s, early 2010s. Yeah. What do you think is kind of like the biggest difference?
The biggest difference, obviously, is the way the scenes, what's the word, bro? How like on the map we are now, like you know what I mean. We've got a big scene as like worldwide type of thing. That's the biggest difference. Obviously, the drill and like 1-4 pushing it like worldwide, putting Australia on the map. That sort of sense. I'd say that's the biggest difference from our time to now. You know what I mean? And like obviously the money and the different like avenues to broadcasting music. You know what I mean? As you said, like we only had YouTube before. And now, like...
Did you used to release songs on, like, MySpace?
Yeah.
Was that your time?
Bebo and all that type of shit, bro, yeah.
What was the Bebo player like? I was a MySpace guy.
You had, like, your 6 friends or whatever, and you could play, like... You had a player. You could play, like, 1 or 2 songs or some shit. It's sort of like MySpace.
I heard something else today, and you could tell me I'm completely wrong, because this is random. I told one of my guys from back in Liverpool Ways that we were having a chat today. Yeah. And he goes, Gravy Baby. I remember his raps, but... Wasn't he a DJ first?
Nah. Bro, I wanted to be a DJ, and like I hung out with, like as I said, my mate Neri. He was a DJ, but I ended up just getting into rap.
The rap.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was hoping we heard some like house techno beats.
Actually, bro, he might be talking about like I used to make mixes on the computer, never on like the turntables, but I used to do mixes.
And
like,
did you have a tag on him or no?
DJ Gravy Baby, yeah.
Because he goes, I swear I used to listen. He goes to be like, "It's Gravy Baby."
Yeah.
Like, shout out Cody, bro.
Bro, these guys are next level, bro. These guys old school, bro.
100%.
Yeah, that's old school shit.
Insider info.
That's like from the phones, the Bluetooth,
There you go.
the Bluetooth
That's what
high
he was
school
saying.
shit.
He's like, bro, I had a Bluetooth phone, and I swear I beat Bluetooth this song where it said, "It's Gravy Baby."
Nah, he's not lying.
Hey,
Nah.
Hey, Gravy, importantly, do you remember who was in your MySpace top 8?
No, it was probably like Lil Wayne. Probably, man. I know it was like Lil Wayne, 50 Cent. Just whoever made you look cool back then.
What you were doing
Tupac wasn't even alive, it was on MySpace.
Fuck my friends. I'm putting my arm.
Back then it wasn't how it is now. Like with your mates and all that shit. You see your mates at school, after school and that's what it is. But back then it was like they come to my page.
Yeah.
I got mad graffiti on the front. I got like I'm following Tupac and Snoop Dogg or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Lil Wayne, come on the podcast. Hey, I think the biggest difference though, one of the most important differences between underground rappers nowadays and underground rappers of your generation. Yeah. No one wears Stripeys anymore. What's going on? You mentioned Stripeys before. I swear.
It's frowned upon now, bro. Because all the little young Eshays, bro. Look at you seen all those videos online? You see, bro.
Yeah, look, they've taken
it's a full embarrassment, bro. You know what I mean? So to wear it, you just like to wear it is like wearing Ed Hardy back in the day. You put in the Gronk spotlight on your head, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, come on, Kev, you're from Sydney, cuz. Like, when that Ed Hardy scene came out, lad. Bro, that was crazy. You had everyone with the hats and the fucking spring.
I think it's cooler to wear Ed Hardy now than it was back in the day, to be honest.
Probably.
Yeah, because now it's like ironic nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I swear, like nowadays, you see all these like crazy slick videos, underground rappers on videos that cost 10K. But sometimes you just want to see a guy in a back alley with graph on the wall in a stripy polo with a one take on an iPhone 6, just pumping a freestyle. You know what I mean?
Hey man, hey, did you ever end up going on a tour around or how?
No, I didn't. No? I toured with the boys when Mike Righteous came from the UK. If you know Mike Righteous, that's probably the only tour I done, and that was just like opening for him. Through that, but I've done like heaps of support open acts, but I never really done anything for myself. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't remember what it was about, but I heard you go on a rant about merch once. Did you ever have any merch yourself?
Nah.
Nah, man. We need
like probably myself, bro. Like what I'm saying, it's lazy, but like I go on a rants like for someone like me to still get noticed in the street now. I've never done like I dropped an album last year. I've been doing music for over 10 years, you know what I mean? Like I dropped a proper album, like studio, all original beats, that, through One Lane last year, right? Other than that, I've done mixtapes and all the rest, but I've just been lazy in that sort of sense. And like, yeah, I'll go on a rant like, I don't have merch, I don't have an album, I don't have this and that. And you still know me, you still see me in the street, you're still asking me for like that type of shit, like, I don't know. People tell me like you're irrelevant and all this type of shit, I go on rants like that to like try to prove my point.
Speaking of photos with you though,
I
posted up a photo that I went and chased, sadly, Kid Laroi, try and get a Lou interview.
Yeah.
I had to go TMZ on a guy from Sydney. You hit me up and said that he asked you for a photo.
Yeah, he did.
Tell us the story behind that, mate.
Were you at that show at was it the Factory no, it was the Factory. It was the Factory. And he came with Nookie. It was that show. 1-4 was there. He came with Nookie, bro. And he had a wristband because he was under 18 at the time. So he had like the under 18 wristband. And he asked me and Nter for a photo. Yeah, I had the photo, bro. I sent it to him in my inbox, like the last, like in my DMs, like the last convo. it's a photo that me and Kid Laroi took, and I sent it to him, and then like he sent like a praying hands love heart back, and I just left it there like, yeah, I know that guy, he's famous now, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, but like, bro, it's
After this interview, can you post it and say collab coming soon?
no hard, bro. He'll be like, bro, don't ever. I'll go search him tomorrow. He'll be blocked and that. Like, nah. Shout out Kid Laroi.
Yeah,
He's on Fortnite and shit. Far out.
You play against him ever?
No. Like he's a character on Fortnite now.
bad. Okay.
Like you can buy him as an avatar. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not much of a Fortnite guy, but to be able to get to that level,
I wasn't on that. I was like, when you turn the PlayStation on, if you scroll over the game, it just had Kid Laroi there, and I was like, what the bro? That's.
He's a beast, man. He's changed things.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah.
He's changed things. We can't.
From where we are right now, bro. Pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout
Come
out.
on the pod also with Lil Wayne.
With Lil Wayne, okay.
We touched on it a bit before, but obviously, when you started, it was mainly, the early days of YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, that stuff wasn't really around. So how did you measure success back then as a rapper? Because nowadays it's like, oh, I got 1 million streams, or I'm on this playlist, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. How was it measured back then?
Fuck, bro. Like, it was like to get 100,000 streams back then. Just talk about 1 million, but to get 100,000 streams back then, you had to be cranking. You know what I mean? Because you're only pretty much getting pushed from word of mouth. Because I mean, Facebook was around, but it wasn't really like you needed to have an audience. You needed to like it wasn't how it is now. Like if people share things, it goes crazy. Share. It goes crazy. Like. The music back then only moved through word of mouth. You know what I mean? So
word of
like,
mouth and Bluetooth.
And Bluetooth and that. It was very hard. You know what I mean? As opposed to now where you got Insta, you got Snap, you got TikTok, you got all these ways to get your shit out there. It was so I guess when you hit a certain, I'd say views or subscribers, you were cranking. You know what I mean? Like because when we hit our first 1 million views on Hustlehard, bro, I thought I was.
Superstar.
Yeah, superstar. Because like everywhere I was going, everyone was knowing, bro. Everyone was asking me for photos, this, that. So it was like you felt it, but like financially there was not. You know, and you was street famous. You weren't cashed. You know.
Funny you say street fame. We talked about this in our little chat with Kenyon, but area fame was a good way to base off your
area
popularity
famous,
because. To be truthfully honest, I didn't listen to Oz rap back when you were.
A lot of people didn't.
I didn't. It took me a while to get onto it. Here we are now. But at that time, I still knew who Gravy Baby was.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I was from Bonnyrigg, so you know what I mean. I guess close enough. But no matter what, I still knew the words Gravy Baby. Yeah. I still heard people talking about your releases. So. Area fame, bro. Yeah,
it was area. Yeah. Well, we were always in the like southwest area, like Liver. You obviously know those areas around there. I was there. I was in all those areas. So if someone's from some area, they know about me or they know someone I know and something like that. But I'm too old for that shit now.
I think that stuff is way more meaningful though, because like you said, there's so many ways just to blow up nowadays, I guess, or it's pretty easy to share something on Instagram story. But back then, you were copy and pasting like fucking MySpace URLs and on ICQ or MSN.
The tags, remember the tags, the YouTube tags? Yeah.
You'd be like, suss this guy, you know, and it's way more powerful because it was harder to do, so it meant more. You know what I'm saying? Whereas nowadays, it's like you just share whatever. But like you said, that stuff is evidently kind of more powerful because people still asking you for photos and doing this and doing that from tracks that are over a decade ago. So I think that area fame shit is actually, it's kind of like what we said to Kenyon, like word of mouth still like is the most powerful thing.
It is. 100%.
It's like, I don't care if you have a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign, if people on a street level are talking about you sharing your shit like meaningfully, then that is like priceless.
And 100%. 100%. It's heaps easier nowadays too, bro. You think about it. Someone puts something up and you go on Insta and you just click share.
And it just spreads. And honestly, the playlisting, let's be serious. If you're lucky enough or have the connects to get playlisted onto a good play, you can get millions.
So you corrected yourself, not lucky enough. If you know the right people, you get on a playlist.
It's a bit of both.
It's like, it's obviously got to be a good track. It's not going to be like, he's my mate, put him on. It's obviously got to be a good track. But knowing the right people is very good in this scene.
It's all who you know.
Yeah.
All right. Kempy's a good man to know right here.
Oh, of course, bro.
Mr. Record label man. All
right, put me on the Gronk on.
No.
That's cool. Thanks, bro.
You're a good man.
Kemp's AJ, Sydney AJ.
So we spoke a bit about Nter before. So obviously you guys have had a very, very successful musical relationship, I guess, cranking out some, like you said, Sydney City iconic classics. Let's name them, Polo and Shell Tops.
Yeah.
Holy Water
Water.
remix, My City.
My City.
If you haven't heard them, go listen to them on YouTube.
Thank you.
So how did that relationship with Nter start, and how did it develop into something where you were making, you know, these absolute underground hits?
Well, same, like, bro, 50-60% of the rappers I've met in the scene are through Gunster. Because obviously he knew all the artists, he worked with all the artists, so it was easy to introduce. And we done a big remix, the Black Tees remix. It was Cesc, Nter, me, a few boys. And Nter, I met Nter when we were filming that video clip, and we just clicked straight away. Like, we talked, you know what I mean? He knew people, I knew people he knew. We just talked shit. And obviously I was a fan. You know, before anything, I was a fan, you know what I mean? And when I met him, I told him, bro, I go, these are the reasons why I got into making, like, music, you know what I mean? Oz hip-hop. So I want to make a track with all Sydney searchers. And they had their differences at the time, but I was like, bro, I didn't give a shit. I'm making a track with each and every one of you guys, you know what I mean? And I'm fucking mission complete. I done a track with all of them, you know what I mean? And that's, yeah. But I always wanted, like, the dream was to get a track with all of them.
On the same track.
On the same track with myself, you know what I mean? That was it, but it is what it is. There's still time. But
It's
yeah,
never
in
too
regards
late.
to on Nter, yeah, we linked from doing that video clip, and then I had the My City verse. So I sent that to Schemo. Originally, I sent it to Schemo, and Schemo's like, yeah, fucking oath, I'll jump on it, right? And then Nter heard it as Schemo was listening to it. And then Nter goes, I'll jump on it. And I was like, well, either one of yous. And he's like, nah, I'm jumping on it. You know what I mean? And then the rest is history, bro. You know what I mean?
You couldn't have taken both those verses and just
like he was
snuck
just
them on
like,
there?
nah, as soon as he heard it, he's like, nah, I think it inspired him because, you know what I mean, what I was talking about. And he just got G'd up, and then he got into that mode he wrote, and then we done it. And then I was like, mad. I had Holy Water. I was like, let's go. You like this? And he's like, oh, bro. And that's how it always was, you know what I mean? I'd send him beats or he'd send something, and I like, you know, and yeah.
So, new music coming?
Yeah, 100%.
You mentioned it.
100%.
You got more music with Nter then, since we're still on the topic?
Bro, to be honest, I wanted to make Holy Water too. He was keen. There was a lot of artists that wanted to jump on it. Like, as soon as I mentioned it, there was a lot of artists like, bro, you need to throw me on it. That song fucking da-da-da-da-da, 1, 2, and 3 inspired them in their own ways. But I told him, like, I'm keen to do it if he wants to do it, but I'd rather do new shit. But yeah, we've got at least one new track coming out.
Hectic, man.
Yeah, is he doing? What's he up to nowadays? Because I've seen he's a bit off the social media, but
Yeah.
he did do an interview, that Zoku interview in the pizza
He's
shop
in the
out
pizza,
west.
yeah.
Yeah. How's Nter doing?
He's all right. I haven't really been in touch with him, and but yeah, he's getting back into music. I can just say that much. You know what I mean? He's getting back into music.
Let's take it back. You mentioned Gunster a few times then.
Yeah.
Early 2010s, you know, yourself, Cursor, Sydney Searchers, it's popping right now. It's starting to pop off. How was the feeling of Hustle Hard and being a part of something like that? Because it felt like it was more than just a YouTube platform.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was, bro, it's where everyone wanted to be. You know what I mean? And like me and myself, Cursor, and like SWR, and we were the first artists on Hustle Hard. So we were like the originals.
You're like the second video on there. I had to scroll
second
back.
video on there. Yeah, I was the second video. Mac, a lot of them I've told him to take down, like, because they're my old ones that I feel like I look like an idiot or whatever. But yeah, Cursor is the Sickest was the first, and then I done one called No Spinner. That's gone, long gone. It might still be on there, but yeah, I done a like a freestyle rap type of thing called No Spinner. But yeah, yeah, bro, it was mad because everyone was like new artists and artists you don't know and artists that you've heard of back in the day. They were all jumping on board. Like, bro, Husky was on there. Like, everyone was on there. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, and it was, for me, it was a mad thing because I got introduced to a lot of artists. I work with a lot of artists, you know what I mean? Like,
how long before Hustle Hard were you rapping then? Like, what year would you reckon that was?
Like, not serious, like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, stuff around rapping, like I was doing probably 1 or 2 years.
Oh,
like
that's right. So not long after is when all this started to kick off.
Yeah, because as I was saying, like, I met Jay Neary and he was a DJ. Like, he raps, but he was a DJ originally, you know, and I wanted to learn how to scratch all those techniques and that. And then he had a studio set up at his, and we used to just fuck around with beats and just freestyle and that, and then make raps. So yeah, I took that more serious than the DJing. Yeah.
It's crazy, like you mentioned, even, you know, Chill, before he had his hiatus from rap, he was doing videos on Hustlehard, and even I scrolled through some of the videos, it's like, you know, Alex Jones is on there, obviously one of the most, you know, not critically acclaimed, but like, you know, on a street level, regarded as the best rapper from Melbourne by 100%. a lot of people. He was on Hustlehard, so
100%.
And like you mentioned, you know, yourself, Cursor, it's crazy to see, you know, since how many people had roots in that platform.
Yeah. It is, bro. It still is now. Like, and they still, obviously, they know where they started. Like, everyone knows where they started. Majority, we're from that era. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I feel like that group of people really respect where they're from and the road that's been paved.
And then it went to, like, I think the torch got passed on to Bagsy, BodyBag Media, because then he had a mad, like, he bring in, bro.
Big run.
He had a big run, and he bring in mad artists, bro. Like, you know what I mean? All the majority of the artists we're seeing now. You know what I mean? Like,
do you? Yep.
What?
I was gonna say, bro, 2016 to 2018 to 2019, BodyBag Media was like a fucking psycho era
100%,
of music.
Yeah, mad.
Like the Body the Booze that were coming out, the clips, the collaborations. It was
collaborations, all of it, bro. The Chill and the Wombats, the Shadow and the Chills, the Body and the Booths. Fuck.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the period where I started taking notice of Australian rap for the first time. So
a lot of people did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that were listening to us now, bro, they got like 3-4 kids. Like, bro, I see people. I'm at the survey sometimes. You know what I mean? I'll see people and they'll be like, "Gravy baby." I'm like, bro, I used to listen to you fucking 10 years ago. You're still making me. And I'm like, fuck, I'm an old cunt, bro. See you later. Enjoy your day. You know what I mean? Like, straight out.
Do you reckon the scene's missing anything these days and by not having something like Hustle Hard? Because I don't know, maybe for up and coming artists that feel like they don't get their shot and their start, you know what I mean? But it's too easy to create your own lane now, you know what I mean? You just be a bit consistent, you create a bit of a following, you put video by TikTok, Insta, all that type of shit, bro, it's very easy, you know what I mean? Like, and once you build that little audience or once you grab someone's attention, the rest is history, bro. Like, you can't fail, you know what I mean? If you get that little bit of buzz, you just got to keep with it, you know what I mean? And that's where I guess that's where I stuffed up, because you get that momentum and you get comfortable and then you're like, nah, fuck it, these cunts. Like, you know what I mean? They'll be around, they know who I am. And you stop making music and they're like, nah, fuck you. 10 other people come in, you know what I mean? And they're like, they've got the attention now, you know? So you got to just, if you want to take it serious and that's what you want to do, you got to be consistent, you know what I mean? You got to keep it pumping, keep it rolling, like, to get out there, like, to chase what you got to do. Like, you can't really expect, like, we didn't expect Hustle Hard type of platforms to help us out, you know what I mean? But they were there. I guess it did help, you know what I mean? Do you feel like, you know, you keep saying you fucked up, you missed your mark there, right? Does that kind of thing affect you, seeing what the scene has turned into? That you did stop, or you did take your time, or you didn't, or are you just like, bro, I paved the early way. It is what it is.
Yeah, of course, bro. I get dirty sometimes, but it's only dirty on myself. You know what I mean? Because obviously, I had a buzz, I had an opportunity. I created an audience for myself, and then I guess I just let, like, you know what I mean? I became my own worst enemy. You know what I mean? I let ego kick in. I let, you know, politics kick in, you know what I mean? And I restricted myself. I guess you could say that. Yeah.
At the end of the day, bro, you're OG.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it, bro.
Come on, man.
Nah.
Area fame.
Area fame,
100% area
100%.
fame. And like what you mentioned before about the accessibility of people making videos and stuff and doing their own thing, that's of course like a great thing for upcoming artists, but fuck, sometimes I feel like, man, if we had, you know, that central hub that something like a Hustlehard or a BodyBag was, that might be what it takes to create another fucking wave of stuff.
But I get, like, bro, the scene's always been, I don't know how it is now because I'm not really involved with all the new artists and all that, but back then, a lot of people didn't really want to work with each other. Networking, it sort of happened, but a lot of people, it was, we'll do this, but it's really like, hey, we're running the same race. I want to come first. You know what I mean? Like, that's sort of what it was. You know what I mean? But when you see people at shows or whatever, it's all, but it's like, all right, man, I'm out of that room with that guy. I don't have to see him until I come back to the state. You know what I mean? Like,
let's be serious. It's still kind of like that now.
100%.
I mean, other people have mentioned it, that brothers had mentioned it, that collabs happen in sections, this and that. It's the same kind of thing.
100%. Because people put, like, bro, I always say it, and I go on rants on it, because people in the scene will put their hands up for things they can't do or they don't want to do originally. So I don't understand why they say, yeah, to my face or in inboxes or whatever, and then go MIA. You know what I mean? Just be real to yourself. I'll respect you more if you go, no, I'm not going to do that, or... You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will say, "Oh, like I'm signed now," or like I'm in works of being signed, and I don't want to. You know what I mean? So they're just big throw-offs, big Alfie Langers, bro. Yeah.
Just on Hustle Hard, any crazy stories or iconic stories that you can just recall now that you'd like to share on the podcast as an exclusive?
We want to hear the craziest shit you got, though.
I don't really know, I'm like a fool. I'm just a stoner, bro. So like, you know, like, you know what I mean? I'm a full wombat, you know what I mean? Like a koala, cuz, you know what I mean? I'm just chilling.
Yeah, that's all.
You know what I mean? A few people got slapped on tours and stuff. That's about it, yeah.
All right, we'll let that
I want to sit there and go, oh, this guy slapped this guy, bro. This guy's being a smart ass. And it's like, oh, gravy, bro. You shouldn't be saying those things. Yeah, nah.
One thing we've done here at Take Flight, we've tried not to create beef. So we're not
there's no beef, bro. There's no beef.
Look, there's a lot of artists from Hustle Hard still dropping music today.
100%.
You know, you got people like Chill.
Yeah.
Husky. Shout out Husky in the other room looking at us right now.
Oh, the boys, yeah. Shout out the boys. Shout out Husky. Shout out Pompey. My brothers.
Cursor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone, there's still people around. We want to go through a few artists that we haven't heard from and see if you know, a little checkup on where they've been at or if you've heard from them over the years. Yeah? We'll hit you with a few.
Let's
Skis.
Go. Where are they, where are they now? Hustle Hard edition.
Skis. Can I say it? Yeah. Me and Pompey and Skis got a track coming out soon. So there's Skis, bro. This is like proper Sydney shit. You know what I mean? Like, so that's where Skis has been. I can't say any much more than that. But yeah, we got a track coming out. Who else?
So is there going to be a Sydney Searchers reunion at some point? Can you imagine that?
I don't know, bro. I can't speak on on those
I seen Skis
other people's type of
Yeah. I seen Skis has been doing family stuff as well.
Yeah,
so shout out to him, man. Last time I've seen him, he was DJing for Nter at the Factory Theatre again.
Yeah.
But he said he's been doing his family thing, so shout out to him.
100%. Shout out Skis.
Who else you got, Kev?
Another guy that was on Hustle Hard that I'm a big fan of, but I haven't heard from that much recently, Dre Cliche.
Dre Cliche. I've seen him a while ago, but I don't really know what he's doing. Yeah.
There's one
I can't really say much. I don't know every artist on Hustle Hard. Like I know him, but I know, like, you know what I mean.
No, because I was just thinking about him because nowadays so many, especially in kind of those drill videos, you see people popping wheelies and doing this and that on the road.
Oh yeah, he was the first one. He was the
100%.
first one. Yeah.
Again, before I watched it, he came in on what was it? A current affair?
A current affair, bro. They were knocking on his mum's door or something, and like. So shout out to him. We want to see Dre Cliche come back too
with the dirt bikes.
Yeah, 100%. Last name on the list, I'm not going to lie. Again, I wasn't in the scene around this time, so you're going to have to help me out.
Oh, you mentioned him before, Yogi Breezy. You did a track with him?
Yeah.
Where's he at?
I don't know what he's been doing, bro. I haven't heard from him in years. Last I heard from him, he was just doing his family thing. I think he was in plans of getting married. I'm not too sure, but shout out to Yogi, bro, if you see this.
All right.
Shout out to him. And also another name I just want to mention quickly, because he has been active, somewhat active, but I want to see him getting more active. Another Hustle Hard veteran, Double L.
Double L. Shout out Big Double L. Yeah. Nah, he's doing his thing. He's been cranking music out. Like he's been cranking music out, bro. He's got a lot of music on the way.
Yeah, I see him do some freestyles here and there, and that boy can fucking rap, man.
Yeah, bro. And he's got bars, he's got punchlines. Like he's just elevating, bro. Shout out Double L, bro. He's a good cunt.
Hey man, well you've been doing your thing for a lot of years. You paved the way. Yeah, you're still talking about dropping songs to this day.
Yeah.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, what do you want people to remember Gravy Baby for?
Bro, like really, besides like, bro, like I want them to remember my city and like Holy Water and that. The rest, like 10 times. Like, bro, obviously my bangers. You know what I mean? I want them to remember that because when I hear my other shit, I'm just like, fuck, I don't want this to be out here. You know what I mean? Like. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, obviously now, the music I'm going to drop now, that'll be the legacy music, you know what I mean? Because I've obviously grown as an artist. You know what I mean? I'm not doing all that, you know what I mean? Like, I've grown from that. So the music I want to leave now is the legacy type of music, you know what I mean? Which will be, I'd say, probably more mature Gravy. Still angry, still tripped out, still this and that. But, bro, I got tracks, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got a joint collab with Yeah, with FS as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Bro,
an
I don't know.
exclusive?
Yeah, that's an exclusive. I don't know, like it's there, bro. The tracks have been there. It's
Where
just
is
like-
it? Who are we blaming for it? We're blaming
No,
Malik?
there's no one to
Alright,
blame,
get
bro.
it out,
The boys are just doing their thing.
Yeah,
It's just like when the timing's right, I guess. But yeah, we got tracks, bro. They're machines, bro. They're like literally like how they print money. That's how many tracks they drop. They're just dropping tracks.
They're making a good name for themselves right now, man.
Shout
They're
out
making
Freetyles, bro. Southwest boys.
amen to that.
Shout out to George's Instagram freestyles with Cult Shoulder as well.
Oh, bro.
It's so
Don't
funny.
even start, bro. They're too much,
This
bro.
man is George needs to just keep making tracks, bro, because
Yeah,
this is the
he's an
funniest
animal.
shit I've
Yeah,
ever heard in
yeah,
Australian music. All right,
100%,
funniest guy. So
100%.
what's on the cards for the rest of 2023 then? Is that it?
Bro, we got music coming. I'm working on a project at the moment. I got tracks with Nter that are coming. I got another track with Husky coming. With everyone, bro. Pomp with everyone, bro. Like, and some. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll have music for people soon.
Hectic.
You know what I mean?
What about on a personal level, like outside of music? Like, what are you doing this year? Just
I've just been a father, bro. Straight out. Like, yeah, I had a kid last year.
Oh,
so
congrats, bro.
congrats! Hey, round of applause.
Hey.
I didn't know that. That's an exclusive.
Hey, it is. Hey, I'm 7 weeks away. What's it like?
Yeah,
Tell me that
Gravy-
done live,
Gravy
bro.
has a baby.
Hey.
Yeah, bro, that's it, man. So all my time and energy just goes into my child, bro.
100%.
Yeah, but I'm real private in that, so like that's why no one really knows.
Yeah.
But yeah. It is what it is.
That's good to hear, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
nice.
shout out, bro. Thank you.
When Wings has a baby and then you baby, you guys can,
Can they rap
Yeah.
together? Oh,
Yeah.
Mike can interview.
freestyle sessions.
We'll get him back in here. My kid can interview your kid about
That's
you.
it,
All right,
that's
we're going to
that.
talking about something. All right, we've got to
Nah,
finish
I
up on
appreciate
one
that,
question. I've thought about for a bit. Who do you think would win in a fight, bro? Yourself or 10 Hasbullas?
Definitely 10 Hasbullas, bro.
Bullshit. I
Definitely
reckon you got a
10 Hasbullas,
chance.
bro.
Come on, man. Have you seen his
Definitely
little
10
arms?
Hasbullas.
Bro,
Definitely
look at you.
I'm the new Husky's giving me the new label as that that skibbity bop guy with the stomach. And he shakes his stomach. You haven't seen that guy?
Who is this guy?
Come on,
Who is that guy?
man.
Who
Right,
is
wait,
it,
what?
bro?
Hey, you seen him? He's this big Turkish
Nah.
fella, bro. And he shakes his stomach and he just stands there and his stomach is just bouncing like.
Bro, as soon as we leave here, that's
I'm
what
showing
I'm
you, bro. When we
All
leave
right,
here, bro.
we'll
I just stitched myself up saying that.
Nah, it's all right. We'll put it, if we need, we'll put it right here on the
Yeah,
screen.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have the skibbity bop guy, bro. 100%.
All right. So 10 Hasbullas. All right, bro.
Yeah, 10
That's it.
Hasbullas, bro,
I appreciate,
100%.
man. We're glad to get you in early on in the piece. I was glad to have some
Thank you,
OG
bro.
stories. Thank you for coming through.
Thanks
my
for
brother,
having us,
man.
Hey,
bro.
round of
Shout out
applause for Sydney OGs. Gravy, baby.
Yeah. It's Take Flight, 24 Karat Kev, Gravy,
Thank
baby.
you. Peace.
We are.